Today on Fresno State Focus, it's homecoming week on campus. There's so much to explore and celebrate.
Plus, we see how this Fresno State student doesn't let a disability get in his way.
And we see how the next generation of women is being inspired by the STEM field. Fresno State Focus starts right now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Finley Pendergast.
And I'm Riley Bottomore. Welcome to the 4th newscast of the semester. Bulldog spirit is taking over campus as homecoming is in full swing. Jasmine Alvarado walks us through a lot of the events.
The energy started high at the Memorial Gardens on Monday. Fresno State kicked off homecoming week with Fired Up by the Fountain, an event hosted by student involvement filled with food, music, and Bulldog pride. Students, staff, and alumni came together for games and giveaways. Both Victor E and Timeout brought the crowd to life. The kickoff marks the start of a week-long celebration leading up to Saturday's big homecoming football game. And there's an artsy twist to the celebration. Student involvement encouraged students to share their creativity in painting the sidewalk of the Memorial Gardens. From reds to blues, our university colors, the event showcased what having Bulldog pride is all about, even having a special guest joining the festivities. This is a new tradition for homecoming that Fresno State wants to keep doing to engage with students. And another creative event brought back memories from our childhood. Students lined up to build a Bulldog today at the Resnick Student Union. And from stuffing and adding their own personal designs, this was a great way for students to get in that Bulldog spirit. And for students who couldn't make their own Bulldog, they were actually able to take one to go. And there are more homecoming events throughout the week, such as karaoke and a student tailgate before the game on Saturday. And just around the corner, students from the business department celebrated homecoming with their own flair. The Craig School of Business put on their 5th annual pop-up shop to showcase their Halloween and homecoming designs by students for students. The shop is there to help raise money for students involved in managing the new venture course, which helps students get a real-world experience in running a business.
It's a good experience just to have under your belt, so when you're going into the work field in the real world, you'd be, oh, okay, I kind of know how all this stuff already operates like, so I'll be way more relaxed going into my first job.
For many of the students in this course, it is a way to show off what they have learned and created. And in December, the Craig School of Business will host another pop-up shop similar to this one. And home is where the pride is at, and Fresno State, that pride is full on display this week, as we've been showing you. Now, Kaya Walls shows us how homecoming brings students and staff together to celebrate what it means to be a Bulldog.
Homecoming week is back at Fresno State, and the Bulldogs are fired up this year. Students, staff, and alumni are gathering together this week to celebrate pride, tradition, and community. Alyssa Saldivar with the Student Involvement Center says homecoming is an important Fresno State tradition that brings everyone together.
Homecoming is an important tradition at Fresno State, not only just for the events, having fun, but also to bring it back to tradition and, of course, representing Bulldog pride here at Fresno State.
Saldivar says school spirit has grown over the years as more students, staff, and alumni join in on the celebration.
Seeing that transition over the years has definitely grown, not only through promotions, of course, from the marketing side, but along with, the students coming together, having staff being all together as well, and, of course, alumni as well, too.
Out here by the Kendall Bookstore, you can really feel what homecoming is all about. Students coming together to celebrate their pride, their traditions, and what it means to be a Bulldog.
Fifth-year senior Amy Hernandez says homecoming is her favorite week of the semester, and it's all because of Fresno State pride.
Homecoming week is the funnest week of the semester, in my opinion. It's just a big celebration of celebrating what all of Fresno State is about. People are happy to be here at Fresno State. People love Fresno State, and people love kind of showing that.
Whether you are a student, staff member, or alum, homecoming week is a time to reconnect, celebrate, and remember what it means to be a Bulldog. Kaya Walls, Fresno State Focus.
Homecoming is more than a celebration. It's a week that reminds students what being part of Fresno State is all about. Now I'll send it back to Finley and Riley at the desk.
Disabilities can make everyday life more challenging. Evan Prater shows us how one student doesn't use his disability as an excuse.
Finally, we're cooking. Finally, we're getting somewhere with this camera settings.
With a push of a button, the door automatically opens for student Raul Ramirez. Handicap signage does point towards entrances with a ramp. However, not every one of these has an automatic door.
So my disability is actually muscular dystrophy, and it's a very rare one actually called Bethlem myopathy.
Whether it's a broken elevator or crowded hallways, nothing will get in the way of Raul's education.
You have to just find ways to get things done, no matter what it is. You have to use your creativity and imagination.
The percentage of students with disabilities has nearly doubled the past 2 decades. Fresno State students who want further assistance in their education can visit the Services for Students with Disabilities located inside the library in Suite 1202.
Director Jenny Johnson goes into further detail.
We have a lot of students with anxiety, just depression, major depressive disorders. We're just here as a tool. We're here as a resource to create that equal access, that level, that playing field for all students here on campus.
Some of those resources include note-taking assistance, text-to-speech software, and extended testing time in designated rooms. Students can make an appointment online through their SSD portal. Reporting from Fresno State, Evan Prater, Fresno State Focus.
The Services for Students with Disabilities Center hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And congratulations, as Raul will be graduating in spring of 2026.
STEM is for students who are looking for careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Nicholas Cummins shows us why STEM for Girls is a pathway to the next generation of scientists.
The STEM side of my work, as I mentioned. STEM for Girls is for girls who are in grades 5 through 12. It gives them the opportunity to see that careers in STEM are a possibility. Jason Horseman, director of STEM for Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, sees the potential in the girls.
Show girls that there's plenty of people in those fields that look like them, sound like them, and that they can pursue those ideas even if it's not something that they saw themselves in.
Confidence means everything, but having someone who believes in you can take you even farther.
Now in our valley, whether it be in agricultural STEM or in pharmaceutical sales, that they're STEM related and that absolutely they're a place for them in those positions.
Students were able to visit breakout rooms like this one where they learned about how satellite imagery works. Assistant professor in the science department, Nikki Inglis, understands the importance of having something like STEM for girls.
I had when I was their age, just to have some interesting insights and curiosities to look forward to in school, maybe things they're not getting in the classroom themselves, and just to know what opportunities are out there.
While some students are in the classroom, others are out here learning about physics and what makes it work. Got up from that and no pain at all.
Physics is a part of our everyday life, whether we realize it or not. Even the air we breathe is a part of it. Joseph White, a lecturer at Fresno State, finds ways to make learning fun.
Showing general demonstrations in physics, we've gone through things like pressure, where we've got them to lie on beds of nails. We've looked at air pressure, we were looking at states of matter, we froze some things in liquid nitrogen and looked at changes in that, and a lot more smaller things as well.
The next generation of scientists has just been born. At Fresno State, Nicholas Cummins, Fresno State Focus.
If you want more information about STEM and want to stay up to date with future events, you can do so by visiting stem.fcoe.org. Fresno State is a center for our community to learn and empower our next generation, as Nick just showed us. It's also a center for learning about or being reminded of important aspects of world history. That's where cineculture shines. On October 17th, cineculture drew attention to the Cambodian genocide with their screening of the documentary Pol Pot Dancing. This highlighted the art of Khmer classical theater dancing and its connections to the regime that killed a quarter of the country's population.
But it's something that is striking even after a few days or weeks. So that came as sort of a surprise. I didn't anticipate that when I was there.
The screening included a discussion with director and film expert Enrique Sanchez, who aimed to explore how Cambodian arts endured through genocide and erasure. His film follows the story of a royal dancer who unknowingly fostered the boy who became Pol Pot, the man responsible for the genocide. Coming up, we take a look at what issues special educators are facing and how they are trying to do what's best for students.
Also, we see what this month's art exhibit has to offer here on campus, as well as what it takes to create it.
And I bring your focus on weather after the break.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
Hello, I'm with your focus on weather. As you can see, we got a little bit different of a beauty shot today. It's a little bit more gloomy, as we did have a little bit of a storm that did hit us this morning. But as you can see, you've seen the darker clouds kind of cover over us, but you did see the light as it started to push through with the rain pushing away. And then again, we got another shot of how the storm is pushing more towards the center. We do have another little one that is up here in the northern part of Washington. We do move on to the western one, which has a little bit more of a storm that is building on the northern side of the Pacific. Not planned to hit the Central Valley at all, but more of a Northern California to Oregon. But we do look forward to our today's high, which again is cooler with the weather and the rain, cooling it down to 71 for Fresno, 72 for Visalia and Mendota. We move on to today's lows. Again, is going to be cooler with 59 in Fresno, 50 in Visalia, 58 in Mendota. So put a hoodie on if you're planning to go outside. As we look to what is going to be air quality, it is moderate across the whole Central Valley. But that's good. With the rain, it should be in some sections, could be good, could be moderate. But again, same thing, go outside, put a hoodie on. It is going to be partly cloudy for the rest of the day with mid to low 70s. And then Saturday for the homecoming game will be cloudy, but look forward to that. I'm Ryan Nardo with your focus on weather.
The Fresno State Nursing Mobile Unit stopped by the Memorial Gardens this Monday to give out free flu shots. This is all a part of Get a Shot of Bulldog Pride pop-up clinics put on by the Student Health Center. From health fairs to campus events, the Nursing Mobile Unit carries the same mission, making care convenient for everyone.
We do public health screenings. Our nurse practitioners go out and do physicals and health assessments, but we have it set up like a little clinic. So we have clinic chairs, we have all of our own supplies, we have a fridge to keep medications, and in this case our flu shot.
The final Get a Shot of Bulldog Pride clinic is happening right now at the Ellipse Gallery here on campus until 6 tonight. Many families expect schools to give their students the best education possible. But some argue that the support their students receive depends on what program they're in. I was able to look into this divide.
As Miss Steffen walks into her first year of teaching in her functional life skills class, her biggest goal is to add new energy for her STAR students.
Within special education, we do not have a curriculum like how Jenna does. Each of our students have different abilities and needs and are on different academic levels. And so that's what makes it pretty difficult in special education, especially as a first-year teacher.
Some parents have told me they feel like their children are only getting a fraction of support and resources while here at school. Ms. Steffen is working to change that by multiplying communication and resources in and out of the classroom.
It's hard sometimes for that parent and teacher relationship, and so I, as a first-year teacher, I am really trying hard to build that relationship and that trust with my parents.
But with new efforts being used, some parents say communication is still a subject that might need a little extra studying.
Felt like there was always a lot of pushback, and I felt like I was never really being heard with my concerns. It was always like, well, we hear you, but.
Her daughter was in 3 different special education programs in Clovis Unified, all pushing her back academically, and Mom said she never understood why. So they moved.
Uproot our whole entire family. We have 2 other children that were in Clovis Unified that we had to, pick up and leave so we could find something else. Now being at this school district, my daughter's bringing home 100% on her math quizzes.
Back in her Clovis Unified classroom, Miss Steffen hopes to be a part of change, showing that with the right tools and energy, every student can succeed. They're doing this by using interactive and adaptive toys and tools to help their students during their learning.
These students have my heart, and I will do anything and everything and try my best day in and day out to make sure that I am providing the best education for them, providing them with the support that they need.
A challenging career, but for Ms. Steffen, a rewarding one that creates a positive change in the classroom, one student at a time.
As I have worked in a special education classroom myself, I applaud Ms. Steffen for her hard work in bringing change to her program and her students.
Last week, the Collegian attended the Media Fest conference in Washington, D.C., and emerged victorious, securing multiple awards. With me today is Nolan Reynolds, who is the assistant sports editor for the Collegian, who attended the conference. Can you tell us what it felt like to get the opportunity to be in Washington, Nolan?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to be in such a place with a lot of American history and go and see all the monuments and all the sites, even though the government was shut down. It was still just a great experience.
I know you guys won a couple of awards. Can you talk about that at all?
Yeah, so we won for Best of Show 5th place for our paw print news magazine. And then in this edition, we won an award. Our graphic designer won an award for a graphic. This is their graphic that they made. The story is in the shape of the headphones. Just really great to have all of our hard work shown off and kind of seen and awarded with such prestigious honors.
What do you think sets the Collegian apart from other news publications?
Yeah, well, I think we have such a tight-knit newsroom that we were able to have relationships with everybody. And there's no kind of divide within all the sections. Everyone's able to work together and work really well together.
For students looking to join the Collegian, do you have any advice for them?
Just be yourself and just work hard.
Well, thank you so much, Nolan, for your time and for sharing your experience with the Collegian with us. Now we have to head live to Aaron, who's at the Fresno Chaffee Zoo for a unique Halloween event.
All right, today we're here live at the Fresno Chaffee Zoo. One of the best places to be during the day. For the next few days, there's an event going on during the evening. Today I'm here with Gia, Communications Coordinator of the zoo. Gia, what can you tell us about what's going on the next few nights?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. So the next few nights, October 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Fresno Chaffee Zoo is excited to be celebrating Zoo Boo and bringing back that classic fall tradition that everybody at the zoo loves.
All right, and what's restricted to be worn here for the next few nights for Zoo Boo?
Absolutely. So this is a family-friendly event, so we do restrict some more scary or gory costumes just because we do have some kids and we want to make sure it's friendly for everybody. But exciting news is this year we are actually allowing inflatable costumes for the first ever time. So if you have those big dino inflatables, elephant inflatables, bring them down, wear them to Zoo Boo.
Perfect. Live from the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, Aaron Story, Fresno State Focus.
The Phoebe Conley Art Gallery has a new exhibit for the month of October featuring 2 different Fresno State artists. I got a behind-the-scenes look at how the gallery and these exhibits are put together.
The Phoebe Conley Art Gallery has been showcasing work from Fresno State artists for years. What many people may not know is the work that goes into putting together the many exhibits the gallery displays each semester.
There's a lot of people behind the scenes that you might not realize, but it's like a little community coming together.
One of the minds behind putting together exhibits like these is gallery technician Michelle Goins, who enjoys the challenges that come with each exhibit.
Here, I really get the opportunity to engage with the students, share my knowledge with them, and help them learn both the in front of and behind the scenes of a gallery.
Aside from finishing what's on the canvas, artists have so much work to be done before that gallery opening. That's why gallery technicians like Goins help ease the nerves of artists feeling that pressure.
But I think overall it's been really smooth, and Michelle has really been awesome at problem solving with me, just different areas that I needed support in, but I didn't know where the support was going to come from.
As these students fine-tune their final works at Fresno State, Goins also makes it a point to help the artists get used to the gallery space.
Being able to share that with students so that when they graduate here, they feel prepared to engage with galleries and a little bit more comfortable with gallery spaces is really, really rewarding for me.
No matter which way you turn, you'll see the work that went into the gallery, beyond just the paint on the canvas.
McKenna and Andrea's exhibits can be seen through Friday in the Phoebe Conley Art Gallery. Michelle Goins will be back at work to prepare for next month's exhibit, which opens on November 3rd. Coming up in sports, we take a look at the dangers that go with working in athletics that most people may not be aware of. Stay tuned for your focus on sports and more.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart.
I'm Nicholas Cummins with your focus on sports. It's official, we have a U.S. versus Canada World Series. The Toronto Blue Jays are headed back to the World Series for the first time in 32 years. A 3-run shot from George Springer gave the Blue Jays the lead, while Jeff Hoffman threw the final strike to send them to the World Series. But their opponent is the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers, who are looking to become back-to-back champions. Game 1 of the World Series is this Friday at 5 on Fox. The chase for the Larry O'Brien Trophy has begun. Let's start with the defending champion, Oklahoma City Thunder. They were hosting Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets in a game that did not want to end. Reigning league MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, finished the double overtime victory with 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Now, shifting closer to home, the Los Angeles Lakers lost to the Golden State Warriors 119-109. Jimmy Butler spoiled Luka Doncic's 43-point performance. Continuing with the NBA, but looking at the connection to the Central Valley, former Bulldogs Paul George and Orlando Robinson are ready for their season debuts tonight. George and his Sixers are battling the Boston Celtics in just a few minutes, while Robinson and the Orlando Magic are currently taking on the Miami Heat. Central Valley native Jalen Green is looking forward to a breakout season beginning tonight as his Phoenix Suns take on the Sacramento Kings. Saturday Night Lights at Valley Children's Stadium is all fun. However, what risks go into being a camera operator during home games? Kelsey Broderick gives us the insight on what it looks like working the scoreboard.
Fresno State's video operators put themselves in risky situations when it comes to working home games. In her 4th year working as a camera operator, Allison George worries about the ladders.
Climbing the scoreboard, you usually have a tripod bag and a backpack, so it's like a lot of weight on top of it. I feel like it takes a lot of stamina to get up there, especially if you're not used to climbing up there all the time. It can be really scary.
Pre-health major Dasani Morin also worries about the ladders, but for a different reason.
When you're going up, it doesn't seem that far up until like it keeps going. And then also like I feel like the weather plays a part of it because when it's hot, like the bars are really hot. So yeah.
I am right outside where they climb the ladder all the way up to the scoreboard, and as you can see, it's only standing on one leg. That is right. They risk all the time going up here just so you can have an enjoyable and seamless time watching your Bulldogs in the Valley Children's Stadium.
Future Bulldog Logan Nelson says his inputs on the unstableness.
Transfer from the rickety ladder up to the solid, stable ladder. So yeah, I was definitely a bit anxious.
Camera operating is not easy, especially when they're working the scoreboard. Chelsea Broderick, Fresno State Focus.
The next time you see a camera operator in the stadium, show them appreciation for the risk they take for a successful show. That's your Focus on Sports. Back to you, Riley, at the desk.
Some may think wine should only be enjoyed during special occasions. Fresno State Winery and Gibson Farm Market shows that anyone at any time can enjoy a glass. The wine tasting showcases different types of wine for the public to try. These are just some of the wines that were student produced. It also allows students to share their passion for wine.
And wine itself, there's so much history, there's so much culture. Wine for me is, it helps us celebrate life. And it's not just a beautiful beverage, it's so much more than that, it's family as well.
The next Gibson Farm Market wine tasting is November 7th from 2 to 4.
Lit Hop Fresno was last Saturday in Fresno's historic Tower District. Local writers, authors, and poets read some of their creative works. Some of the readers are Fresno State grad students from the Chicanx Writers and Artists Association. The Fresno State Qua Club members also participate in other literary events like the Rogue Festival in the spring and journal launch called Flies, Cockroaches, and Poets.
Comfortability, even in the most vulnerable of places, can affect the experience of students. Reporter Sarah Hernandez takes us around campus to discuss how a home away from home comes in an unexpected place.
The rippling sound of the flush, down to the porcelain of the bowl, bathrooms play an important part in the lives of students. Isaac Marquez knows that well, as he wrote a story for the Paw Print talking about certain bathrooms around campus.
I also want informational, some people don't like using restrooms in public. My sister, she avoids every restroom that's not in our house. So I just want people to know that it's okay to use a restroom in public.
Using public restrooms does come with an added risk, as sometimes those bathrooms are not always up to par. Students around campus feel this, as sometimes the best bathrooms are the ones found over time.
So the way that I found out about that was actually from generational knowledge, believe it or not. My dad, who went to Fresno State like 30 years ago, was like telling me about this before I started attending Fresno State. He was like, if you ever need to go to a bathroom, go to like the top floors. And I took that to heart.
Like some students say, some of the top-rated bathrooms are the ones that are here at the top floors, like I'm at right now. However, though, like Isaac Marquez wrote, he wrote about 10 different bathrooms on this campus. 5 of them being the best and 5 of them being the worst. 5 of the best bathrooms being right here, as displayed here, and 5 of the worst being displayed right here. However, though, some students do have differing opinions, as sometimes they have a bathroom that they like the most. Staying comfortable is the way to go amongst students. Jocelyn Caskey is amongst these students who always has the one go-to bathroom that never fails.
I really like the library bathrooms. I feel very comfortable here. I spend a lot of time here in the library, so I have really tried to explore like the library and other buildings around the area. But if I don't really know where I want to hang out or like eat lunch or even like find a bathroom, like I always just end up coming here. It just feels familiar.
Bathrooms play an important part in the daily lives of students. So it's good to remember that there's always a place to get down to business that fits every student's needs. Reporting from Fresno State, Sarah Hernandez, Fresno State Focus.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, we break down Proposition 50 and what effects it could have on the Valley.
Plus, we get a look at how students on campus are creating their own issues with parking.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.